Reviews on the March. Hollywood 2018, a vast empire of filmmaking. Dozens made, dozens released. Some fail, some succeed. Avengers Infinity War, 10 years in the making for a vast epic with a huge cast, great story, and one of the best villains of all time, with an ending so shocking yet so grand. Only 2.5 hours long, but it feels longer in a good way. 100% number 1. Deadpool 2, hilarious sequel to the 2016 film with Ryan Reynolds once again playing the merc with the mouth. Great fourth wall breaking jokes, excellent mockings of superhero tropes while still using them, and great chemistry between Reynolds and Josh Brolin as Cable. 98% number 3. Solo, a Star Wars story. Despite all the controversy surrounding it, it is the best Star Wars film in my opinion due to the change from space opera to space western. Alden Ehrenreich makes a great younger Han Solo, as great as Harrison Ford did. Great look into the first spin-off based on a major character from the franchise. Average story but told very well. Great effects and really great memorable action scenes. 100% number 2. Ocean's 8, spin-off to the Ocean's trilogy with an all-star cast of Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, and a whole lot of other great actresses. Usual caper plot but told very well, and the caper itself is well made. Gary Ross tries to capture Steven Soderbergh's style, although not 100% there, he still does a really fine job. 95% number 7. Incredibles 2, 14 years after the original, and Pixar once again pulls it off. Brad Bird and most of the cast return, and they are just magnificent. It is a very mature animated film with a very complex story, a great villain with a good motivation and great plan. Really good action scenes, the animation is beautiful. 100% number 1. With that, another Pixar short, Bao, about an older Chinese mother dealing with empty nest syndrome as she imagines a dumpling she made as her own son. As she deals with her own son leaving, it is weird yet so beautiful. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the 5th in the franchise, and while some improvements over Jurassic World, it's actually not as good as it. While it does not have the constant meta jokes and the nostalgia trips, it still has some very bland characters and over-the-top villains. Though the performances are really good, the effects are great, and this one has a more horror vibe than the previous installments. 86% number 12. Sicario, Day of the Soldado, the sequel to the 2015 classic, which was directed by Denis Villeneuve, cinematographed by Roger Deakins, and starring Emily Blunt. And even though all three do not return, the writer returns, and most of the other cast members return as well, and they all do a great job. Although not as powerful as the first one, and not as memorable, there's still some really good sequences, and the story is well told. 95% number 8. Ant-Man and the Wasp. The first follow-up to Avengers Infinity War is a nice breather from the last one. It's more comedic in tone. Many of the cast members from the first one come back. You have a villain with a great backstory. You have really good effects, a well-told story. Great comedic moments, though sometimes the comedy often happens too much. While it's great that they rescued Janet Van Dyne, some of the explanation behind her rescue and her new powers aren't done very well. And while it may not reach the same levels of Black Panther and Infinity War, this is a great entry in the MCU. 95% number 7. Won't You Be My Neighbor, my first documentary about Fred Rogers, his life, and his show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. A beautiful look at a man so loved, yet he himself had so many doubts and fears. You get to learn from his friends, family, and co-workers what he was like. And the music that went along with it was breathtaking. 100% number one. Mamma Mia, here we go again. 10 years after the previous film, and most of the cast returns. It's a huge improvement over the last one. While I liked the first one, it had some issues. This one fixes some of those issues. The singing is better, the story is better told, even if it is very basic. And while you get to see a younger Donna, the transition between the past and present isn't always done very well. The choreography is the best of the two. And while Lily James is no Meryl Streep, she does her best. The best, of course, is with Cher. 88%, number 15. The Fate of Events of Princess Mononoke is the first re-release of a film I've ever seen. I went to it because of my love of Spirited Away, which not on the same level is still very beautiful and powerful. The animation is beautiful, the visuals are amazing, and the battle scenes are top-notch, though sometimes people lose their limbs way too easily and they don't react the right way. While some of the dubbing is done well, some of the dialogue could have been cut out, but still, the second best of the Studio Ghibli films I have seen. Mission Impossible Fallout, the 6th entry in the series and second best. Second to Ghost Protocol with Rogue Nation at third. It is a huge improvement over the last one, which, while still good, had some issues with the action scenes in my opinion. The story is well told, the action scenes are better choreographed, and though my big issue is that people don't bleed when they should, you have most of the cast returning with new characters introduced, and they all do a fantastic job. Christopher McQuarrie as director and writer returns from Rogue Nation, and he does a phenomenal job, especially with the many twists, turns, plot twists, and reveals that this film excels at. 100% number 4. Black Klansman, Spike Lee's latest about the true life tale of Ron Stallworth, the first black cop in Colorado Springs, Colorado in 1972, who infiltrated, with the help of another officer, the local chapter of the KKK to prevent a possible attack. The film is unapologetic when it shows the organization's bigotry and hatred towards anyone that's different from them. Lee crafts a well-made detective drama that adds a little bit of comedy here and there, but it's just so brilliant and moving. John David Washington and Adam Driver have really great chemistry, their performances are amazing, as well as everyone else's performance. The music and cinematography especially evoke the 1970s. The film also excels at showing how not much has changed when compared to today's climate of racism and bigotry, especially as it shows at the end of the film the Charlottesville protests and the ensuing car attack that the current administration failed to respond to in the way it should have been. This film will no doubt have a huge impact on people and will be remembered for years to come, whether it's today's climate or a future climate. 100% and tied at number 1 with Won't You Be My Neighbor. And thank you everyone for 50 wonderful episodes. Now this isn't a goodbye. This is merely see you soon, as I will be taking a break. But do not worry, it is merely a short hiatus. Who knows how long it would be. But just remember, be kind to each other, treat each other well, and just be thankful for everything. While I may not be making new videos soon, we still have the last 49 episodes. And who knows what new things I will come up with next. But until then, have a good night and treat each other with such kindness. Thank you.